This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, June 5th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. A batch of former Transport Board drivers will be moving forward as a united front after signing on to government's Transport Augmentation Program, TAP. This afternoon, 32 men joined a growing list of ex-drivers who will be using their severance pay to purchase public service vehicles to join the program as members of the Independent Transport Operators of Barbados. Transport Minister Dr. William Duguid, who says the drivers will be assigned based on the demands of the public transport system, welcomed the new members on board.
We are very happy to have them, and today they're signing their letters to join that program. In addition, they will be benefiting from duty-free concessions as described by the Prime Minister on their vehicles as they access their vehicles over time. And I am very happy and very pleased because this is an opportunity to empower and enfranchise former drivers who are now becoming entrepreneurs, and also by extension they have an opportunity to become employers.
Sagicor Financial Corporation has teamed up with the Barbados Community College to ensure students get top-notch training in elderly care. This morning, BCC Principal Annette Aline and Director of Sagicor Financial, Dr. Janine Comer, signed the Memorandum of Understanding during a ceremony at Sagicor headquarters. Aline said that the training of the care providers will involve the college's nursing department in the Division of Health Sciences, the Hospitality Institute, and the Industry Services Unit.
As we enter into this agreement, we'll focus on the delivery of students with a professionalism and maturity that will be evident in how care is delivered. We will operate from the highest principles and ideals, follow best practices, and embrace only standards that reinforce that there is no shortcut to excellence.
This comes as Sagicor constructs a multi-million-dollar senior citizens retirement village in St. George. It will be the region's first active adult community with continuing care facility for seniors. Acting Education Minister Senator Lucille Moore says the training initiatives, which focus on the care of the elderly, is timely as the government seeks to ensure a high standard of living for its aging population.
The partnership between Origin, a Canadian-based entity, and Sagicor, a Caribbean company dedicated to developing an active lifestyle community, continues the emphasis on active aging that has been promoted by successive governments. It is projected that through this initiative, the estate at St. George's, the elderly will be able to age gracefully and retain much of that independent spirit that we know they possess. The estate at St. George venture is timely as the government of Barbados continues to seek to ensure that a high standard of living for all and the continuous development of all of our citizens.
It's already 5 days into the hurricane season, and Home Affairs Minister Edmund Hinkson assures the government is leaving nothing to chance. This morning, he launched the Barbados National Disaster Exercise, which will test the island's readiness at all levels.
Exercises, whether tabletop, functional or full scale, provide an opportunity for us to test our plans and practice procedures in order to improve our ability to function if and when we are impacted by a severe hazard event. For this reason, we have sought to involve all elements of the NEMS, including agencies from the public and private sector, civil society and community level. Efficient, through this exercise, the NEMS will be able to critically examine the resources available for responding to a variety of scenarios with a view to determining the possible resources and establishing time frames. Through your deliberations, we can determine how best these resources can be deployed to improve response times and make efficient interventions in order to save lives and restore livelihoods.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, Jamaica's opposition People's National Party blasts the government for not doing enough to tackle crime. The party insists more must be done to arrest the problem across the country. O'Shane Thomas of Television Jamaica tells us more.
Mayhem and frustration across sections of the island as gunmen continue to wreak havoc. It has left many questioning, is the government doing enough to deal with the crime situation? Despite various meetings with a number of organizations, the results are not evident. The government in 2017 instituted a state of emergency in St. James, which resulted in a decline in murders. However, months after the SOE was lifted in January, murders increased again, leading to the reimposition of the SOE in April. But the opposition spokesman on national security, Fitz Jackson, says the SOE and other security measures are just band-aid solutions. He says the permanent fix is social intervention.
And further afield, Mexican officials met with their U.S. counterparts for talks in Washington today in a bid to stave off the imposition of U.S. tariffs on Mexican goods next week.
I think they want to make a deal, and they sent their top people to try and do it.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday struck an optimistic tone over Mexico's willingness to reach a deal with the U.S. over border security to avoid punitive tariffs. The president's comments came on the third day of his trip abroad and just hours before Mexican officials were set to meet in Washington with Vice President Mike Pence and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to try to convince them Mexico is doing enough to stop migrants from crossing the border into the U.S. The talks come as the Trump administration staves off a full-blown revolt from the GOP, with top Republican Mitch McConnell warning the White House may not have the party's backing.
Well, there is not much support in my conference for tariffs, that's for sure. Most of us hope that these tariffs will not kick in.
But during a news conference in London Tuesday, Trump issued a warning against members of his own party.
I don't think they will do that. I think if they do, it's foolish.
President Trump escalated his battle to control the tide of migrants entering the U.S. by threatening to punish Mexico with a 5% tariff on all imports beginning next week. A threat he doubled down on again Wednesday.
Mexico can stop it. They have to stop it. Otherwise, we just won't be able to do business. It's a very simple thing.
Mexico's foreign minister, who's leading the Mexican delegation, has said tariffs would devastate Mexico's economy and wouldn't stop the waves of migrants entering the U.S.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, and you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.